Previously on Power Reviews.
You were sent by Hexagon to infiltrate Alphabet Soup, which crossed over into our world through an unstable interdimensional rift. They believe that Mayo is the only person that can help them take control of it.
The trans-dimensional tear from the hallway.
It's morphin' time.
Phantom Ranger.
When the portal was sealed, we lost signal.
I'm you. You have nowhere to go.
We need a portal.
Alphabet Soup is back in town.
Still can't believe you're going back there.
Monitoring Guy, right now. I think we have another tear.
To authorize an immediate retrieval team for subject K Gamma.
You have nowhere to go.
Not unless you have a secret second home somewhere.
Doesn't everyone?
And you're sure nobody knows about it?
Sometimes even we forget.
They're here.
And now, Database Rangers Power Review.
Greetings, Alphabet Soup, and welcome to the building.
They're here. I still have my key. I'll go in first. Wait for me. We're clear.
Oh, good. We wouldn't want you having another serving of filet of sole. He's talking about that time you got kicked in the face.
I know.
Still can't believe we let this guy escape. Heard he took down 6 of our people single-handedly. Same for T-Alpha and T-Beta.
No way! I heard that they went into the private sector. Always looking out for number one, even when there were 2 of them.
Let's try to stay on task here.
Right.
I want that surveillance equipment placed near all possible exits. And don't forget the vents. We don't want them slipping away again.
We know what we're doing.
Let's wrap this up, people.
All done on our end. So, ladies, what are you doing tonight?
Working.
Let's clear out.
Sir, if you don't mind us asking, what makes you think they would be foolish enough to return here?
It's the only lead we have. If we don't find them here, they may as well be ghosts in the wind.
Well, at least we can trust him on that.
Now to contact the database.
No need. Sorry. My bad. Power down. Teleportation and invisibility. Comes with the suit.
Ah, yes. I'm still becoming accustomed to the trappings of your newly discovered identity.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to it myself. So, what's the situation?
Well, it would seem that all of this newly installed surveillance equipment is just for show. So for now, we should be safe from scrutiny. I take it everything's going well with my counterpart?
Safe and sound at the Morposner homestead. When I left them, they were already unpacking Zagger's cat carrier out of the back of the car.
Good.
And the tear?
There are no new readings yet, but that's not saying much. Their walls seem to have some sort of dampening effect. Had the latest iteration of the Selective Quantum Utility Electronic Eye Line not been inside at the time, who knows how long it would have gone undetected.
So, what do we do now?
We wait. Agent Y wishes to meet. And considering the outcome of our last excursion into their facility, I think it would be best if we listened to whatever pertinent information he may have gathered.
Yeah, you're probably right on that front. Hopefully he's handling himself okay out there. Anything else?
Yes. I have the results of your most recent tests, and...
You know what? I take it back. I don't need to know anything else. I think that being hunted by an evil organization that may very well have just ripped open a hole in the fabric of reality is probably enough for now.
But...
Is it anything that we need to worry about right now?
No.
Then let's not. Let's review an episode. We've still got 4 in the backlog, and it feels like forever since we've been able to just sit down and do that. Just the 2 of us. And who knows? Maybe we might learn something.
Well, all right.
Greetings, Ranger fans.
Salutations.
And welcome to Power Reviews.
You know, we don't really have to keep doing that. Ever since Alphabet Soup re-emerged, I've been systematically purging our presence from the World Wide Web.
But fair enough. But it's tradition, you know? And besides, who knows? Maybe, just like with the Power Rangers universe, there's some dimension out there where there are actors playing out all of our roles.
I think not.
Anyway, enough of that. Let's get down to business and take a look at Episode 5 of Power Rangers Super Megaforce, Samurai Surprise. We open with just another day on the Armada flagship, where the Prince is once again venting over their repeated defeats at the hands of the Rangers, worrying about how long his father, the Emperor, will continue to tolerate their failures.
Meanwhile, Megaforce Blue and Megaforce Black are procuring groceries from the grocery store.
That's the grocery store for all your grocery needs.
Quaint. When Megaforce Black takes notice of a parked motorcycle and pauses to admire it.
But this thing has fuel injection, too.
As would be the case with any properly functioning internal combustion engine.
Actually, something about that bike looks really familiar.
Excuse me.
Wait.
G? Well, I must admit, Samurai Surprise is indeed an apt title.
As G drives off on his bike, Noah is shockingly quick to whip out the Power Pokedex to bring Jake and any non-savvy audience members up to speed with a few quick samurai clips.
Wait, that was Mentor G from the Samurai Power Rangers?
After this brief encounter, we return to the Armada flagship, where a new craft has docked, much to the concern of the Prince.
We're under attack! Everybody get down!
It turns out that the attacking monster is Madakor, a member of the Armada's elite guard.
Which raises the question of why he was attacking the X-Borgs to begin with.
Looks like Vikar's daddy isn't pleased that Earth hasn't been conquered yet, and in an effort to make his papa proud, the Prince decides that it's time to take matters into his own hands. He teleports down to the city with Argus, Madakor, and a full-on legion of X-Borgs and Bruisers.
People of planet Earth, I am Prince Vikar.
And we finally get to hear him say his name out loud, and on only the 5th episode, no less. Much better at introductions than his brother was.
They're immediately met by the Megaforce Rangers, who appear to be feeling oddly confident for some reason.
We expected someone say more impressive.
I'm sure this will only end well for them. They morph into the Power Rangers Megaforce and briefly do battle with the X-Borgs before wisely activating their Super Mega modes.
Super Megaforce red! Super Megaforce blue!
Super Megaforce yellow!
Super Megaforce green!
Super Megaforce pink!
Super Mega hurry up and destroy them already!
They resume their battle with the X-Borgs using their standard technique of standardized weapon exchange before activating Legendary mode.
It's Morphin time!
Yes!
What?
We finally get to see Mighty Morphin!
And this is relevant because...
Mighty Morphin! The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the original team assembled by Zordon to defend the Earth from extraterrestrial threats. The team that every 20 to 30-year-old remembers from their childhood.
I'm sorry, I spent my childhood in an underground secret government bunker.
Oh, right. Sorry. I heard they announced a brand new movie reboot.
I really don't care. And apparently neither does the monster, as it's able to make quick work of all 5 of them, even with their power weapons.
Oh. Well, with that walk down memory lane a bust, the Rangers try out a different legendary morph with Lost Galaxy, with Noah splitting off from the rest of the group to take on the Prince himself. This doesn't go particularly well for him.
His teammates don't fare much better, and despite their best efforts, they too are each forcibly depowered down to Super Megaforce mode.
And not to be outdone, Argus unleashes his solar flare attack on Noah to bring him all the way down to regular Megaforce mode.
Fortunately, Megaforce Blue is still able to get off a few shots with his Mega Blaster, disarming the cybernetic warrior and wounding the Prince in the process.
Not my face! Ah! Anything but my face!
This character is a terrible villain.
But this villain is kind of an awesome character.
They got me! Who knew pain could be so painful?
I stand by my point.
With their leader busy crying over his boo-boo, the Armada forces retreat back to the flagship, leaving the Rangers to plan for their next move down at the Brain Freeze.
Get into your opponent's head. Use your instincts to sense their next move.
Wait.
And feel their attack coming.
Oh, hi, Jaden. So, how are the guitar lessons? Whoa! Extreme close-up. And fire.
You're Jaden, the Red Samurai Ranger. You're, well, legendary.
I find this point highly debatable.
I know who you are. We've been watching you.
We?
The government?
Anywho, ignoring the creepy stalker implications here, Jaden has been keeping tabs on the threat they've been facing, and donates his father's old double disc to help the cause, distracting them with a quick clip show before vanishing off into thin air.
Oh yes, that's definitely not suspicious at all. Megaforce Pink and Yellow show up to join them, but the team is quickly called away to battle, leaving a very confused proprietor alone, holding Samurai Red Alpha's order of non-flavored gelid dairy-based bacterial culture, as they go to meet the monstrous Matacore at the local abandoned warehouse district.
I will uphold the prince's reputation and ruin yours!
He can't be too smart if he works for that prince.
So to prove their intellectual superiority, the Megaforce Rangers then proceed to battle against these ostensibly overwhelming forces, completely unmorphed. Brilliant.
Fortunately, it doesn't take too long for them to wise up and morph to Mega, with Jake going toe-to-toe with Matacore, soon joined by the other two guys as the girls wrap up things with the X-Borgs.
Unfortunately, when they finally do decide to utilize their Super Mega modes, the Armada responds by simply issuing forth more X-Borgs, forcing them in turn to activate their legendary modes.
It's morphin' time!
Oh, come on! Again? Well, at least we're not seeing any pre-Zhu Ranger Sentai teams.
Legendary Ranger Blitz! Ah!
Really?
Bet you didn't see that coming.
No. No, I did not. You got me there.
I'm confused. What exactly is the problem here?
I'll explain later.
Jaden said to use our instincts to sense their next move. Let's do that and use our best legendary mode to fight them with.
Well, I will admit this at least lines up well with the premiere episode of Samurai, which also involved employing a strategy that had nothing to do with sensing an oncoming attack. Looks like the tradition of completely misinterpreting the lesson of the day is still alive and strong. Troy changes things up from Die Ranger to Operation Overdrive and Ninja Storm, while Gia gets out of Hikari Sentai Masked Man and into some sweet space and Dino Thunder action, as Emma swaps away from Chushinsei Flashman to Time Force, and Jake skips the Sentai tributes altogether and goes straight into Zeo.
Meanwhile, Super Megaforce Blue has inexplicably reverted back to his standard form, before once again uniting with the others in Super Mega Mode and resuming their battle against the X-Borgs.
But in the end, they settle on Samurai Mode to take on Matacore, allowing Troy to use Jaden's double disc to use a single Fire Smasher, before Noah also uses the double disc, this time duplicating his spin swords.
Jaden's double disc really did the trick.
Yeah, I would definitely consider being in two places at once with two completely different functions a really impressive trick.
And yet, despite all this, it's their Super Mega Saber's final strike that ultimately defeats the monster, triggering his resurrection via the Armada Maximizer. In retaliation, they summon the legendary Wild Force Megazord, ostensibly their most powerful Zord combination yet, but regrettably still not quite powerful enough for their purposes.
Fortunately, Jaden and G are watching the whole thing from their matching motorbikes, and decide to help out, somehow.
Rangers, our samurai friends have unlocked the powers of their Megazords.
Another samurai surprise.
He said the name of the episode.
Let's combine the red line and samurai powers. Legendary Samurai Megazord! Ready!
Okay, that didn't make any logical sense, but it's still awesome.
Their new powers are put to the test as Matacore summons a legion of Mega Bruisers, which are quickly dispatched with the new Megazord Swordfish Slash, before they turn against the Armada Elite Guard with their
Samurai Fire Smasher!
What?
My thoughts exactly.
That is a very big sword. But you can't argue with the results.
You can see why they were chosen.
Because they excel at being the recipients of a grossly overpowered arsenal.
How was that furyo at Ernie's?
Never tried it, but it has to be better than Mia's cooking.
Nice reference, but definitely begs the question of why he even ordered one to begin with. But I guess we'll never know, as he and G ride off into the woods, leaving a team of very grateful Super Megaforce Rangers, especially Gia, who has somehow apparently heard of his supposed legendary cuteness. much to Jake's dismay. And that's the end of our episode. So, what did we think of it? Well, it was definitely full of surprises. Some nice, some not so nice, but by far the biggest had to be the return of Renee Nafahu as Mentor G. Savvy fans had all been well aware of Alex Hartman's impending return as Jaden for the past year, but not one shred of information was leaked that his curmudgeon-y mentor would be joining in. In truth, though, this isn't the first time that Super Megaforce has brought in an unexpected alumnus. And I'm not talking about Jason Smith's return to the writer's seat here, but also our voiceover cast for the last few episodes, which has not only included Nick Sampson as Katana, but also Adam Gardner as Cybax, having previously portrayed both Candor and the White Dino Ranger clone, and perennial favorite James Galen as General Peluso, well known as Kanoi Watanabe's sensei, Zeltrax and Goldenrod from Dino Thunder, Cheetar the Fear Cat, and of course, Mason Truman of Power Rangers RPM.
I wasn't aware that the Colonel had such a resume.
Well, not him, just the actor who played him. You know, this alternate universe stuff is really confusing sometimes.
Indeed, but back to the subject at hand. What was your assessment of the story here?
Honestly, it's pretty standard fare. The Rangers get defeated by the new monster, then thanks to a little pep talk and a boost to their arsenal, they come back strong to save the day. What makes this episode stand out is in the small touches. And I'm not just talking about the references to samurai, which I admit were much better done here than many of the other past references we've seen. Even if they were largely incidental to the plot, the use of the double disc was inconsistent, and the combination of the Red Lion and the samurai powers made little to no sense. But the really nice details here are for the villains, establishing the existence of the Emperor and his elite guard, while simultaneously furthering the car's development.
Into a flamboyantly pathetic excuse for a creature?
Into an actually well-defined character with clear traits and motivations. Oh, and I would definitely be remiss not to point out at least some of this episode's absolutely beautiful action choreography. Overall, though, despite being fairly light on story, their interactions with G, Jaden, and Prince Vicar does help flesh out the Rangers' world a bit, for once managing to both reference and pay respect to a past season at the same time. Of course, it would be a lot nicer if those references stayed within the established PR canon and they didn't just go flying off to Japan without any rhyme or reason.
Could you please elaborate on that?
Well, you know how Power Rangers works here. It's adapted from the Sentai, but not everything gets adapted. There have been far more Sentai teams than Ranger teams, and it's just so bizarre to see all these teams that don't exist in the main Power Rangers canon, especially when combined with a team from the future, like SPD, or from another dimension, like RPM. It's as if the boundaries between worlds are just getting ripped apart, and they're just pulling all these powers out of some kind of interdimensional rift.
What did you say?
The rift. The one guy told us about. He said that it's been affecting things in their universe, but... Okay. I think I'm ready to hear what you know about my time on the other side.
Yes, I agree. It's been quite difficult to sift through all of it. The readings from the Selective Quantum Utility Electronic Eyeline have been all over the map, and...
Wait, you were able to pull data from the squee?
Yes.
Does that mean that you saw...
Yes, I did.
You haven't shown it to anyone else, have you?
No, and I won't.
Thank you. So, you were saying?
The readings were unlike anything I've ever seen. Wherever you were, that plane of existence doesn't seem to operate by the established rules of our reality. That void appears to be its natural state, a highly entropic plasmatic mass, existing in an extremely distorted variation of space-time. As far as I can tell, the only reason that anything other than you was even able to exist there was due to an extremely powerful psionic field.
Psionic field? What are you trying to say?
That if my theory is correct, that place where you were, nothing can exist there without being willed to do so.
But what about that thing that tried to keep me there?
The entity that you encountered. It exhibited the same psionic field as everything else. Whatever created the apartment also created that.
Wait, are you saying... Are you saying what I think you're saying?
It's only a theory.
You're saying that I did that I created that place, that thing with my face was telling the truth?
I don't know, but it fits the data.
I can't believe this.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
No, nothing at all. What have you got for us, Guy?
Well, thanks to Mayo's new monitoring device, I'm sure you're both aware of the situation. All of Alphabet Soup is on high alert, and nobody has been able to tell me why. Is it what I think it is?
Yes. A new tear has emerged in the Alphabet Soup facility.
I was afraid of that. If they're keeping that big of a secret, then it must be in a highly secure sector.
Well, just tell me where it is. I'll teleport in and out before anyone even knows I was there.
Not this place. The lower levels are completely shielded. No one gets in or out of there without clearance. Not even me.
Perfect.
Don't worry. I have a strategy. And if everything goes well, it might just stop them ever attempting this again. But I'm going to need help. From both of you.
Understood.
So, what's the plan?